Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, my brothers and sisters. Good morning, and welcome to another episode of our Good Morning Grief Devotional. It's your boy, Pastor Corey Allen Duncan, Sr., the senior pastor of the City of Hope Community Church located in the great city of Indianapolis, Indiana. Also, your certified grief coach for 2023. And I'm super duper excited to have this opportunity to lead you in a grief devotional on today. This is your first time joining us. Please know and understand that this is the daily grief devotional that is strategically designed to help you to navigate through your grief one day at a time. What is grief? I'm so glad you asked. Grief, my brothers and sisters, it is the natural and the normal response to any loss, change, and transition that you experience in your life that results in the expressions of feelings and emotions. Grief is what you feel on the inside. Mourning is how it is expressed on the outside. Therefore, when we have grief, we don't suppress it, but we express it, we feel it, and we reveal it. That's why we say, good morning, because mourning is a good thing. Mourning is a great thing. Mourning is a wonderful thing. It's the mourning that helps you to move through the journey of your grief in a healthy way. And so we are here. We are here, and this year we have committed to doing a grief devotional every single day. So many of my brothers and sisters in Christ are struggling as they navigate through the loss, change, and transition in their life. So many of them have lost loved ones. There's been so much change, so much transition, and that initially we get great support for about a couple of weeks, but then a month, a year, 3 years later, there's nothing in place to kind of help us process and digest how we're feeling, what we're doing, all of those wonderful things. And so we established this Good Morning Grief devotional and building this virtual grief community to help us to navigate through our grief. And so thank you for joining us on today. Thank you for being a part of what we're doing on today. So I come to you daily. We don't hold you long, only about 10, 15 minutes. Sometimes it gets good and we run about 20. But we want to be able to daily provide you a grief bite that will help you right where you are. Is it going to solve all your problems? No, but it's going to move you one step closer on your grief journey to a place of healing. And so we love to say around here, small steps lead to great distances. And as you continue to take these small steps to navigate through your grief journey, it will take you great distances. So thank you for joining us. We are excited about all that is happening and taking place on this in this initiative and in your life as you navigate through your grief journey. So welcome. Today's grief quote comes from Clarissa Pinkola Estes, who says, "One of the most calming and powerful actions you can do to intervene in a stormy world is to stand up and show your soul. One of the most calming and powerful actions you can do to intervene in a stormy world is to stand up and to show your soul." Today is day 146, y'all. It's the 146th day of the year, our 146th grief devotional. We're going to go all year long. So we're headed to 365. Today is day 146. And today we're going to talk about stand up and show your soul. Stand up and show your soul. Stand up. If you can drop that in the chat for me, drop it in the chat if you're able to. Just type stand up and show your soul. Stand up and show your soul. Stand up and show your soul. What does that mean? Let's get to it. Grief is first and foremost a spiritual journey. Matters of life and death are spiritual challenges. Of course, we're going to struggle physically and cognitively, emotionally, and socially too, but most of all, spiritually. Yeah, grief encompasses all of these different things. When you start talking about grieving, loss, change, and transition, of course, it's going to affect us physically and cognitively, emotionally, mentally. It affects us relationally. It affects us financially. It affects us across the board. But we got to understand that it's mostly a spiritual type situation, right? Foremost, a spiritual journey. Check this out. That's why first getting in touch with and then revealing our souls are such powerful actions in grief, right? Revealing our souls. It is absolutely important that as you navigate through the loss, change, and the transition that you're experiencing in your life, right? That you get in touch with revealing, you get in touch with feeling, revealing your souls, because this is such a powerful action in grief. Yeah, I say it dang near every day. Very redundant. It probably gets on your nerves, but I'm going to continue to say it. But when you start talking about grief and mourning, it's two different things. Grief is what you feel, mourning is what you reveal, right? And so mourning must have motion. If mourning is what you reveal, mourning must have motion. Mourning must have action. And we've discovered on this platform that a lot of people grieve, but not a lot of people mourn because everybody feels, but not everybody reveals. And when you get to the point to where you feel, but you don't reveal, you get backed up. You stop, you stall, you get stagnant. You're no longer progressing on your grief journey. You're stuck, right? And there are a lot of people that are stuck. A lot of people are stuck because they don't reveal their soul. A lot of people are stuck because they don't reveal. Just revealing, period. They don't reveal. Reveal, getting in touch with and then revealing your soul. So, first and foremost, get in touch with your soul, then reveal your soul. So, what are you feeling? What are you feeling? Yesterday, my daughter, she she completed her junior high school, her middle school career. She was in the eighth grade, and it was the last day of school. So I got one going into the eighth grade, one is about to be a senior in high school, and one is grown. Um, but she was feeling some type of way, right? Eighth grade, and she's going to a different school system. All her friends going to different schools. She's feeling some type of way, and I could tell when she got in the car, she was feeling some type of way. So I'm like, talk to me, do share, right? Talk to me. I said, because this is grief. You are dealing with loss, right? You are dealing with change, and you are dealing with transition. And I said, let's break it down. Let's talk about it. What are you losing? I said, what are you losing? She said, I'm losing a community of friends because we're all going to different places. What do you lose? She said, I'm losing junior high. I'm no longer a junior high student. I'm in high school. What are you losing? I'm losing this routine that I've been sharing with you for the past couple of years of you getting up and you taking me to school. I'm dealing with this loss. I said, what's changing? She said, well, I'm changing school systems. I'm changing from junior high to high school. I'm changing schools. I'm changing districts. I'm changing the culture and the systems in which I'm in, right? And so I'm paraphrasing some of this stuff. I said, what's the transition? Well, I'm transitioning from junior high to high school. I'm transitioning into another district. I'm transitioning into, another group of people and friends and rules and teachers and community. I'm transitioning to a new community. I said, come on, let's talk. So how do you feel about that? How do you feel about the loss? How do you feel about the change? How do you feel about the transition? And we did. We had a full blown conversation, y'all, right? And when I ask her how she feels, she begins to reveal, because you feel something. Now you begin to reveal your soul. She began to reveal her soul. She began to reveal through articulate expression. She began to talk about it, right? Maybe had to wipe away one or two tears, right? She began to reveal. She began to reveal. She began to express, right? Because you got to get it out. Now imagine not having the outlet. Imagine feeling, but not having a safe place and space to reveal. Imagine. And so the same thing applies to you, right? Loss, change, and transition. Loss, change, transition can be anything. Now, primarily on this platform, we focus on, death, but it can be any loss, change, and transition. For her, it was going from junior high to high school. For you, What is the loss, the change, or the transition that you're wrestling with? I know for the majority of you, you've lost loved ones, right? Tell me about the loss. What did you lose? Tell me about the change. Tell me about the transition. What did you lose? There's this thing called when it comes to grief, there are secondary losses, right? Because not only did you lose a spouse, but you lost a covering, you lost a friend, you lost the financial a financial partner, you lost your handyman, right? If you know a lot, whatever roles they fulfill, you lost your handyman, you lost your masseuse, you lost your cook, right? You lost your gourmet chef, you lost your companion, you lost your porch partner. Y'all will go out on the porch and drink coffee. You lost your friend, right? You so it's there's secondary losses. So when you really begin to break this down, what did you lose? You just didn't lose that individual. What else did you lose, right? When you begin to break it down, what's changed? When you start to talk about the change, what's changed, right? When you start talking about the transition, what are you I'm transitioning into being a widow. I'm transitioning into being fatherless or motherless or childless. I'm transitioning into being an empty nester. Whatever it is. You have to really, this is what you do. You have to, because you already feel, but now you gotta reveal, right? So you feel, now you gotta reveal. And you gotta talk about what have you lost? Not just in the individual or not just in the act itself, but what else encompasses the loss? What have you lost, right? Tell me about the change. Tell me about the transition. Because once you become aware, let me articulate it the way the lesson says it. Once you get in touch with these things, right? Now I'm aware, I'm getting in touch. Now I need to reveal. Now I need to reveal how I feel about everything I lost, about everything that's changed, about all this transition, right? You reveal how you feel, and when you do that, it's actions and grief. This is such powerful action. This is grief in action. Mourning is grief in action. Y'all, and I'm giving y'all the blueprint. If y'all don't, I'm telling you, I'm giving you the blueprint, right? I'm saving you thousands of dollars in therapy. You getting this in coaching, right? If you really begin to list, right, everything that you lost, the primary thing, the secondary things, you begin to list everything you lost. You begin to list everything that's changed. You begin to list all your transitions, right? And those are your sessions right there. If you go one by one to talk about it and deal with it, one by one, you process one by one to talk about the loss, the change, the transition. One by one, you talk about it. Yeah, that's how you mourn, right? And this is the thing. This is why you stuck. You stuck because you got all of this loss, all of this change, all of this transition. Number one, you're not aware because you haven't even really sat down and processed everything that's really lost. But then number two, you feel some type of way about it, but you ain't revealed. You haven't revealed. And that's what you have to do. So we get stuck because we get stuck because we stay busy. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to talk about it. If I think about it, it's gonna make me cry. If I talk about it, it's gonna make me cry. If I think, and so we suppress, we don't express, we don't address, we suppress. If I think about the life, if I think about the second day, but you still thinking about it. You still thinking about it. When you want that back rub that night, you still thinking about it, right? When you order and carry out and ain't cooked, you still thinking about it. When a leak happens or something, the faucet is leaking or something happens in the house, and now so you still thinking about it. And this is the thing. If you would just do the work, if you would just Put yourself in a safe place, in a safe space to process. But it hurts. It's going to hurt either way. We've talked about this before. You got the pain of change, you got the pain of remaining the same. Both of them are going to hurt, right? But one is constructive, the other is destructive. One is going to help you, the other one's going to hinder you. One of them is going to build you up, the other is going to break you down. So choose the pain. It hurts. It's going to hurt either way, right? And so do the hurting that's going to lead you to healing, right? Participate in the hurt get something out of it. The one hurt leads to healing. The other hurt, it leaves you stuck. And 5 years from now, you're still going to be saying, it hurts, versus doing the work. And 6 months from now, who's saying, I'm stronger, I'm wiser, I'm better. And it still hurts a little bit, but not as much because I'm doing the work. Y'all hear me? So very important. So grief, mourning is grief in action, right? If you will list whatever you lost, whatever the primary thing was, I lost my husband, lost my wife, I lost my spouse, my kids, my father, my mother, I lost my sister, I lost my brother. That's the primary. What are the secondary things that you lost that comes along with that? Right? Because there's some secondary thing. I lost my job. That's the primary thing that you lost. What are the secondary losses that come along with that? The community and my company and my coworkers and my companions and my confidants and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? The primary, the secondary. What change are you dealing with? And what are all the implications of the change? What transition are you going through, right? And what does that mean? These are the things. This is a toolkit. This is what you put in your toolkit. I'm telling you, we keep it raw, real, and relevant. We keep it practical, portable, and applicable. I give you tools, tips, techniques, and takeaways that will better you. Tools, tips, techniques, and takeaways. This is a tool. This is something you put in your toolkit. If you list all those things and begin to navigate, begin to articulate, because you feel something about them all, right? Then you reveal what you give yourself permission to feel. Give yourself permission to reveal what you feel, right? As you begin to articulate and deal with the loss that you've experienced. That's why first getting in touch with and then revealing our souls are such powerful actions in grief. Our love lives there, which means our grief lives there also. Connecting with the authentic truths inside us and taking actions congruent with those truths is what mourning is all about. It's in yellow. That means it's important, y'all. Connecting with the authentic truths inside us. Connect with the authentic truth that's inside of you. What is the authentic truth that you feel regarding this loss, this change, and this transition? What is the authentic truth that you feel? What is the authentic truth, right? What is it that you feel? Connecting. When you connect with that authentic truth, and when you take action, y'all, it's twofold. When you take actions congruent with those truths, that's what mourning is all about. Connecting with the authentic truth that you feel, and you take actions. Take actions regarding that. That's what mourning is all about, Charlie Brown. That's what mourning is all about. And some of us, watch this, some of us are not being true to the authentic truth that we feel, right? We don't reveal it. There's a way that you feel. Some of us, y'all only let people in so much, or you only reveal so much, but you are not truly vulnerable and just flat out put on the table how you feel, right? You think people think you crazy. You think people won't get you or won't understand you. And this is what you got to understand. Freedom is on the other side of truth. The Bible says you shall know the truth and truth shall set you free. So it is important to be able to articulate. It is important to be able to express. It is important to be able to be true to the authentic nature of how you feel, right? That is so. Some of us do it in journaling. We don't want to say it, but we'll write it, right? And we'll get it out in that sense. But you have to be true to the author. What did they say in the movie? You can't handle the truth. Some of us are not true because we don't think other people can handle the truth. We don't think, and so we don't reveal. And I want to let you know, y'all. I want you to be free to articulate, right, how you feel. Freedom is on the other side of truth. How do you really feel, right? How do you really, really, really feel? I'm not talking about that mask answer. I'm not talking about that canned. I'm not talking about that politically correct. No, how do you really, really, truly, authentically, genuinely, to the core, how do you really feel, right? This is what you got to know and understand. This lesson's so good today. I'm trying to tell y'all. Connecting with the authentic truths inside of us and taking actions congruent with those truths is what mourning is all about, Charlie Brown. That's what mourning is all about. Check this out. When our grief and our lives are stormy, when our grief and our lives are stormy, let's stand up and show our souls. When our grief and our lives are stormy, let's stand up. What are we going to do? Show our souls, right? We're going to stand up. We're going to show authentic. What did I always say, y'all? Raw, real, relevant. Raw, real, and relevant. This is me, raw, real, and relevant. This is the naked truth. This is the pure, unadulterated, uncut. It ain't been cut, nothing. This is uncut, right? Y'all remember the old school albums, Uncut, that they would play the version, the raw version. This is uncut. Come on, y'all. Come on. Like drugs. When they get drugs, they cut the drugs and lace it with something. No, the more they cut it, the more it's diluted. It ain't pure, right? This is uncut. How do you uncut? How do you feel? I ain't talking about watering down your feelings. I'm not talking about minimizing. I ain't talking about diluting. Now we not diluting nothing. This is what I feel, raw, real, relevant, pure, unadulterated, uncut. This is the nakedness of what I feel as it relates to my loss, change, and transition. When our grief and our lives are stormy, when it's stormy, y'all, stand up and show your souls. Such transparency makes us vulnerable. Yeah, this is true. It makes us vulnerable. But there's also a calm and power in genuineness. Such transparency makes us vulnerable, but there's also a calm and power in genuineness. And this is what you need. Yes, it makes you vulnerable, but remember, truth is on the other, freedom is on the other side of truth. And many of us are in bondage as it relates to our grief because we don't, and we're not free because we don't want to be 100% true with how we feel, right? Show your souls. Stand up and stand up and show your souls. Show your soul. Here's the last thought. When my grief is stormy, I will stand up and show my soul. When my grief is stormy, though the storms keep on raging in my grief, I will stand up. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show my soul. Today is day 146. I'm so glad y'all in the mix. Stand up. Show your soul. Thank you, my brothers and sisters, for joining us today. I'm so grateful. I'm so glad that you are here. So grateful to have this wonderful opportunity to lead you. Hope and pray that you've been able to um, receive. I pray you were receptive to this word on today, that you were receptive to this devotion. I hope it empowered you. Matter of fact, yeah, if it added value to you, do me a favor, drop me a 5 below. If this in some way added value to you, drop me a 5 below. Drop me a 5 below. Drop me a 5. But it's like giving me a high five. It's like saying, "Oh, Pastor Duncan, that high five, Pastor Duncan." That was. Now, if it didn't, you ain't got to do it. So don't drop the 5. If it added no value to you, you ain't got to do it. But if it added value to you, ooh, high five, high five. Drop me a 5 below. Drop me a 5 below. Yeah, I appreciate y'all. Good morning. Hey, Pauline Ellington. Good morning, family. Still raw, uncut, and going through the storm with my feelings. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it is a journey. You hear me? It is a journey. Any questions or comments before we go? Any questions or comments? It is a journey, y'all. And that's the thing you got to know about grief. It is a journey. And even some of you may have had grief counselors or whatever. You may have gotten therapy, and typically that's like 6 sessions and you're out. And this is what you got to know and understand about that. It's a journey. So every step of the journey builds on the next, right? Um, Counseling, it is effective. It can work when you connect with the right people there, and you need all of it. But that's just part of the journey. You can't go to a counselor for 6 weeks and think that, hey, I did 6 sessions, I'm healed. That's not the way it works, right? You did six sessions, which means you are progressing on the journey. So as you're progressing. So you got to continue to progress, right? That's one chapter of your or one leg, like a race, 4 leg race. That's one leg of the grief journey. You got to continue to progress. You got to continue to move forward. You got to continue. Small steps lead to great distances. Please know with everything that is within me, y'all, and I say it all the time, um, my only motive for doing this, y'all, this ain't being sponsored by nobody. Ain't nobody getting paid to do this. It's to see you better, period, right? The only motive for this is to see you in a better place, to see you in a better space, to see you in a better position as you navigate through your grief. And so please know and understand that as you continue to navigate, move, and go through, um, we want you to grow. We want you to be the best version of yourself. We want you to be the best version of yourself. And so we're here to help you in any way that we can. So we're grateful and thankful for each and every one of you. And I appreciate y'all, and I love y'all with the love of the Lord. So look, I hope and pray you have a phenomenal Friday. I hope and pray you have a wonderful weekend. And we're here for you. Remember, stand up and show your soul. Love you with the love of the Lord. We out. Let's go.
Uh, uh. Good morning.